Good Morning Night Vale is brought to you by The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine, a new independently produced and crowdfunded 10-episode original audio drama. Set in a deceptively familiar world of electronic surveillance and machine-mediated communication, The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine follows Lydia Ryan and her friends, lovelorn Ethan and wannabe internet sensation Dee, as they struggle to unravel the mystery of her mother's disappearance. Escape the sinister Fontaine family, and survive the feud over her grandfather's supernatural legacy. It weaves bitter family drama and high-stakes intrigue with fantasy and cyberpunk elements to create a surreal mystery about secrets and grudges, old books, big data, and the promise of infinite knowledge. And do not forget the talking birds. It's a full-cast production with original music and a bespoke soundscape presented through a series of found-footage-style surveillance recordings. And it's important to note, this show was made entirely without generative AI. Even the computers are voiced by human actors. Episodes are free, and you can start listening right now with the Season 1 finale due to come out on August 16th. For more information, go to lydiadisappears.com. and find The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine wherever you get your podcasts and start listening from the beginning.
Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life, on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Is this the first time you've heard me say this?
Are you sure?
Good Morning Night Vale.
Hello, Good Morning Night Vale audience. It's me, Meg Bashwiner. My birthday is in like 12 hours.
Hey, it's me, Symphony Sanders, and my birthday is in 6 months.
Hi, it's me, Hal Lublin, and my birthday is in 8 months and 3 weeks. And this is Good Morning Night Vale. We are all cast members of Welcome to Night Vale, and therefore we have elected to listen to every episode of Welcome to Night Vale in order, recap it, give you all the fun insider deets that we can, and just break it down with y'all. Mm-hmm. You know, we're all the same in this crazy world. We are recording this on Monday, the 17th of April, 2023. The Sixers have just defeated the Brooklyn Nets in the second game of their first round matchup. They now lead 2-0.
Thank you for the sporting update.
You're welcome.
And we are also heavily looking forward to Meg Bashwiner's birthday. Everybody give Meg a whoop whoop. Happy birthday, Meg.
It'll already been my birthday when this episode comes out. Just know that I'm older.
But
in the future,
you're going to get a double cheer. You're going to get a double cheer for your birthday. And what we're going to double cheer for is episode 133. Are you sure? The episode description is this the first time you heard me say this? Are you sure? Let's talk about it.
Holy cow, guys. Holy cow. This episode, we're finally here. Which ending did you get?
I got the Leanne version.
I got Earl.
Okay, how would you? You got Earl. I got Leanne as well. So, no.
Dang. And Vin got Telly.
Oh, Vin got Telly. Okay. Well, the first time I listened to this episode, like when it came out, I got Telly. So.
Did you?
I did, yes.
How did they do this? How did they,
okay.
how, because this is, well, I mean, we don't have to explain what happens here, right? Because
reveal us your secrets.
Ostensibly, people who are listening to this have already heard the episode.
Okay, I think let's recap for them just in case they just
Sure.
like listen to it and we're like, well, okay. So this episode has 3 different endings.
Yes.
So we go to the weather and it has 3 different weathers. So depending on when you're like it's sort of randomized, you will get a different weather and you will get a different ending. So there's 3 possible solutions to why we're having the timeline crisis that we're having. It's either at the hands of Leanne, at the hands of Telly, or at the hands of Earl Harlan. So that's the premise of this episode. How it works is that the publishing software that we use through PRX has something called dynamic insertion, which is sort of how, when you listen to a podcast and you get a different intro or a different ad, it's something that's in a rotating slot in the sections. So that's sort of inside baseball about how podcasting works is that you upload, we upload our podcasts to a service and then that service just distributes it. And we can upload it in any number of parts. So we have like the 2-segment episodes. This episode you're listening to right now is considered a 2-segment because there's an ad break in the middle of it. So I upload it in 2 parts. So for this episode, it was broken into 3 sections, I want to say. And then they uploaded in the 3rd part 3 different possibilities for what could happen in sort of the rotating section. So you would just get a random rotation of what's in the 3rd spot. It's used to rotate ads through, mostly is what it's an advertising tool. But Joseph, when he found out about how that worked, and when we had switched over to PRX and started using them, he got this idea to use the structure of it's called dynamic insertion to mess with it and to have an episode have 3 different endings and 3 different weathers and 3 different proverbs.
What a creative thing, because I remember the buzz around this episode. This is the great thing about we're catching up, as it were. There's a point at which I swear my memory's like, yeah, that doesn't go to long-term storage. That's just gone. And this is within that window. So I remember when this was happening and I was like, I don't know how the hell and I feel like someone explained it to me then and I didn't understand it. And now you've explained it to me. Yeah, I think I got it.
Yeah. I mean, when this episode is edited and mixed, it'll be sent to me in 2 parts.
Right.
Because there's room in our world for an ad break to go in the middle. So sometimes there will be an ad that will play in the middle and sometimes there will not be. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I did. When you were with Bebe, I did that for a little bit.
Yeah, you were the producer, so you uploaded it in the 2 parts.
Yeah.
And now you know why. So that.
Now I'm just the talent.
What a fascinating, kind of reminds me of like when the Beatles discovered stereo and that you could move sound from left to right.
Yeah.
Then they had an album where everything panned left to right and they were playing with that. Like you find out what tools available and then you figure out how to like just create something new with it. So I love that idea of never even occurred to me to do that. You could use dynamic insertion for something like that. Cause I only think of it in terms of ad placement. So this is a really smart, it's a really smart use of it. And it didn't occur to me listening to it at first. I was like, oh, there are 3 different, like people get different versions of this. Like that's so great. And just a really clever device. And it's a really well-written episode too.
Yeah. Well, listeners out there, why don't you let us know which episode you got and if you've heard any of the other endings. And if so, how you do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How often does it? Because the day it released, you could have gotten any of the 3.
Yeah, it's per stream that it rotates through.
Wow.
So
okay.
Yeah. You could download. It's just the luck of the draw when you pulled the trigger on it.
Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah. It is cool.
I really enjoyed this episode because not only the splitting timelines and everything was all wonky, but it was also in the writing. It was a little topsy-turvy with some of the sponsor things and the ad. Like he would start off somewhere and then be like, oh, well, that's a perfectly normal thing. I think the traffic in particular was off. And then he was like, well, that's a perfectly normal thing that would happen. out of that. So it just added another wonky element to time as we know it in Night Vale.
Yeah, the Night Vale has throughout its existence has always had weird timeline chaos, which is sort of explained by the Hunter car stuff. But it's just one of the facets of Night Vale is that time is weird here. And this episode just really steers into it. And I love that it's sort of a celebration of that facet of the timeline chaos of Night Vale. And yeah, the traffic's it's a really cool thing that Joseph did in the traffic is that it's this riff on the Two Roads Diverged poem, which is really cool to have in something with split timelines. Is just a poem about split timelines that he, parodies and deconstructs to put in this episode.
Yeah. And then also in the community calendar, the Bank of Night Vale, the first Bank of Night Vale, which is where you work, right?
Yes.
Steve Carlsberg, right?
That's right.
And there's this really spooky thing. And then they're like, oh, no, it's just normal. You can open a box. What are those called?
Safe deposit
boxes?
Thank you. I just pantomimed
a key.
Safe deposit box.
You're doing a key and a lock.
Yeah. A key.
And every day is Monday in the community calendar.
Yes.
Right.
But it's all different. One day is pizza night, karaoke night, art gallery night, kids fundraising dinner, garage sale. Yeah, it's all different Mondays. The last Bank of Night Vale.
Yeah.
Have you all seen the movie Contact with Jodie Foster?
Yes. I think I saw that in the theaters.
Yes, me too. And many times at home. I love that movie. When she's finally launched in the whatever accelerator they put her in, there's a point where she's communicating and then a version of her kind of peeks out, like a blurred version of her that says something else and a blurred version says something else. This whole episode feels like that to me, where there are multiple things happening at once and you kind of question which of them is accurate. And even, the whole ending of that is kind of a mind screw. But I love that idea of if everything's happening at once, all these different outcomes, you don't know which one's true and which one isn't.
I'm having such a weird deja vu right now. Early on in our episodes, were you talking a lot about Contact?
Probably. I'll work it in anytime I can.
Because I just in my mind, I was like, I have seen Contact, but I feel like Hal knows a lot about Contact.
Yeah, he's seen it a lot.
Okay.
I also like the movie Frequency, which is not the same, but feels like
similar.
Feels like it shares DNA.
Wait, is that the one where the dad is talking to him through the radio?
Yeah, it's Jim Caviezel and Dennis Quaid. He's using a CB radio to talk to his dad in the past and trying to save his life.
Right. That's not Matt Damon in that?
It's also very good. It's not. No, it's Jim Caviezel.
Okay.
It's Jesus.
I don't know. Yeah, I just remember you talking about, okay, you must have been talking about Contact. It was either that or that show by Trixie Mattel and Katya. They talk about, Katya talks about Contact a lot too. Maybe you guys would be friends.
I'm sure. Contact lovers unite.
You guys start a Contact Discord. Well, that's Jodie Foster, right?
And Matthew McConaughey as the he's like a religious figure.
Wait, really?
It's he's like a cool pastor.
Oh, all right. Huh. Interesting. Matthew McConaughey, of all people. Another thing I found interesting was when Cecil was talking to, I think, Carlos, and they were talking about, gut feelings. That's what it was. I had a gut feeling, and Carlos was saying that, gut feeling is very scientific. And then I loved when Cecil said, well, what are guts made out of? Science. Duh. They are. And the cosmos.
Yeah, guts are made out of science. Brains are made out of science. Snot is made out of science.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because there's a lot of bacteria or whatever. Sweat probably too. All of your...
No, sweat's sports.
Gushy... Sweat is made out of sports?
Yeah.
But farts are science.
Farts are science. You don't think farts are science?
I don't think farts are science.
It's gaseous.
What are they, food?
Gaseous.
Well, farts are not food.
But they come from food. Science turns food into farts.
Okay, farts are cooking.
Which is cooking not science?
I have that apron.
Farts are
cooking equals science. Science equals
farts are cooking. It says farts are cooking.
Farts equals farts are cooking.
Kiss
Yikes.
the chef.
Oh. I really liked there was a time traveler's wife joke in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The artist's husband.
Artist. Yeah.
That's another good book.
I've never
Me
read
neither.
that
Oh,
one.
it's really good. Yeah.
I think because it was like pitched as sort of there's like a romance element. And I hate that shit. But I do love sci-fi and fantasy type things.
So
So maybe I would like
I found it a very evocative, emotionally evocative work.
Oh.
Don't you want to have
Yeah, I
your
like it. I like
emotions evocated?
that's also cooking.
It is.
Free
Evacuation.
Shavakadu.
Free shavakadu. I had free shavakadu twice today.
Same.
Yeah.
I made a delicious, you guys, I made the best noodle bowl I've ever made in my entire life.
Speak.
I'm feeling good about this. I get a CSA box every week. And so I'm feeling very good at eating local, like creating a really nice microclimate in my home. And so I had soba noodles on the base. Okay. And I'd gotten some tofu made in Chicago by someone. And have you ever had bachan? It's like a Japanese barbecue sauce, basically. And it's like thin. It's real like gingery. It tastes like if you ever go to hibachi, it tastes like whatever sauce they put the hibachi sauce. Or teppanyaki, like one of those tables. Where they throw the shrimp in your mouth.
Shrimp me
I
up.
like that. I like that. And when they squirt your mouth with like booze, that's always
Do they
fun.
do that at Benihana?
I like when people,
Or that's got to be like an off-brand where they're like, we just throw it at your face.
I don't know if it's at Benihana, but they'll have like one of the things that you would squirt like a sauce or something. And I've had them like almost try and drown me with sake or whatever the heck is in there. I was very drunk. Anyways, so I marinated it in the tofu in that, and I pan fried that, and I pickled some carrots that I got in my CSA box, cucumbers that I did buy from the store, and red onion that I got in my CSA box. So that was all pickled in like rice wine vinegar, mirin, a little bit of sesame oil, and some, apple cider vinegar and whatnot. And then, I had mushrooms that were also from my CSA box that I cooked up, and some of those sugar snap peas. And then it's all about the toppings for me. I love those like that crunchy fried garlic bits. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's just like little crunchy bits, and sesame seeds, black and white, because I'm fancy. Green onion and cilantro. I know you don't like cilantro, but it was.
I like cilantro.
Very
Hal,
delicious.
It's just me.
Hal has the.
It's just me. Yeah.
Yes, and avocado.
Hal has it.
Yeah,
That sounds lovely.
Actually,
Hell has
I
it.
have it. I got the Lantro. I got it bad.
it means that your palate's like, I think is further evolved.
That's what I say.
Because you can taste the soapy notes. Yeah.
Yes, I'm a mute. I'm like Wolverine. I'm more like
You're like of the future.
You're an X-Man.
I'm like Professor X. Yeah, we are the future, Charles, not them. That's my X-Men reference. That would be Sirian McKellen as
great. I love
Magneto in the first X-Men.
I've seen that.
Every time someone brings me cilantro or anything near it, I just go, we're the future, Charles, not them. And they know to take that away. And don't put, and not so much mole, please.
But yes, you don't like mole?
I went to a place recently and they made it was like a chocolate mole that they put on, it was like on an enchilada or something. And it was so strong that it was like they fed you a giant metal milkshaker cup of chocolate mole. And then also here's some good shredded beef. And maybe there was once a tortilla in there somewhere.
Ugh.
This was a while ago, but I think about it and go, you were so close. It's so good. The shredded beef was very high quality. It was well seasoned. Just tone it down a little because you're losing the star.
Yeah, too much sauce sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Too much sauce. Because listen, it's starting to walk the line. Is it soup? And if it's soup, it's got to be hotter, like temperature wise, than it is.
Correct.
Because right now there's like a lukewarm soup thing happening on my food.
That's right.
That's a tough one for me because I love sauce. If something doesn't have enough sauce, I feel like I'm choking to death.
I love sauce.
I'm like, this is so dry in my throat.
But there's a too much sauce issue
I need some
sometimes
sauce.
wherein it becomes a question if it's soup or not. And like when their salad is overdressed and it's like you're sort of like
That's
you got
true.
floating lettuce leaves.
When it's it's pooled in the bottom. That's not right. That is not right, and not what I'm looking
So
for.
let's discuss these endings.
Yes.
So Yeah, so we've got the Telly ending where Telly is doing this time loop to try to to try to fix his mistake with Carlos's hair, which is adorable.
Oh,
Just really wants to set that straight in time.
right.
And I didn't listen to the Earl one. I read the Earl one, and it just seems like he's like it happened accidentally and he's kind of disorganized about it. Is that the reason? What's the reasoning by why Earl is doing this?
Yeah, he's concerned about his kid going hiking with rocks in his backpack out in the desert. It's all very coincidental. Like he's picking out new Boy Scout uniforms and he's wearing the black satin mask so nobody can ask him to make more big decisions because he's overcome with everything. And I think, I mean, yeah.
He's just kind of like overwhelmed by stuff. And so it's like so many decisions and choices that
he doesn't want to make any more choices. And I think there's something to him, like there's no choices anymore. He's taking choices away because everything's happening all at once.
Because he has all the choices. He doesn't have to decide because it goes every way.
Yes.
Does that
yes.
ever happen to you where you just like can't make another decision? Or just like someone asks you like, so like, oh, what do you want to do? Should we buy some cilantro? Do we need cilantro this week? And you're just like, I can't. I don't know. Just leave me alone. Like, is that just me that happens to?
No, I'm a Libra. That happens to me every day of my dang life.
I felt like that for the past several months.
Very difficult to make decisions.
Yeah. Like I've been ordering food a lot more because I can't decide what to make and I just don't want to deal with it. And I like just anything that takes the pressure off even a little bit, it feels better. But yeah, like there's
Yeah.
I have a tip for that. One of my friends was saying that she uses the AI to make a menu for the week and a grocery list.
ChatGPT?
Yeah. She's just like, ChatGPT, make me a menu for the week and a grocery list. And it's like nice stuff.
Could ChatGPT also overcome my feeling at the end of a day where I'm like, the last thing I want to do is cook right now and then make it cook? Will my laptop cook for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It will if you hit yes on the DoorDash button and then your dasher just dashes.
That's
just
right.
Dashes through the night.
Dash it over here.
Yeah.
Please. Dash it on over. Skitter on over. Skittle over. Skittle
On
over.
Dasher, on Dasher, on Dancer. Bring that fucking ramen to my house, you know?
I also love the Vaughn's Ralph's conundrum that is happening in this episode. And it also happens in Earl's part where he's like earlier at the Vaughn's.
Mm-hmm.
And then later he walks out of the Ralph's.
Yep.
So that's fun. It's to Southern California. And I can't remember which one it is, whether it's the Vaughn's or the Ralph's. No, it's the Ralph's. Ralph's, we've talked about this, was previously owned by two guys named Ralph, right? That's why it's Ralph's and not Ralph apostrophe S.
Yes.
We've had this conversation.
That's right. Yes.
Yes. And it's not Vaughn's. Yeah. It's not two guys named Vaughn.
No, it is Mr. Vaughn owns.
Mr. Vaughn's.
Yes. And Vaughn's is in the Safeway family of stores. And then Ralph's is in the Kroger family of stores. Is owned by Kroger's.
Oh.
But Vaughn's and Pavilions are both owned by Safeway.
The Kroger's.
I believe.
Yes.
And then John's is separate. But it looks like the old Vaughn's. But it also looks like you don't want to go into John's to go shopping.
There's some fun stuff that happens at the John's. There's a John's that I went to recently because I was like out running errands. And I was like, I need to just stop real quick and pick up a few things. And I went to a John's, but it was in like a very heavily Armenian neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So it was just like a grocery store, but it was all just Armenian products. But there was still like, you could still buy like ricotta cheese and mozzarella, but there was also just like every Armenian ingredient. And like, it was...
Where is it located?
I was overwhelmed because I was like, it's in Glendale.
In Glendale, okay. I know the one in Hollywood, which is down... I think it's like Fairfax at 6th or something like that. Somewhere around there.
I could tell you.
Maybe John's conforms to whatever. It's sort of like whatever container you put water in, it fills up, like whatever the shape is, it takes on the shape of the container it's in. So
I think it adapts to its neighborhood, which I guess makes sense. In a very heavily Armenian neighborhood, they're going to need to have all the ingredients to make, like they're making just like piles and piles of lavash.
Yes.
And I was like, this is great. But yeah, for those of you who live in Southern California and specifically on the east side of Los Angeles, this John's is at Glen Oaks Boulevard. It's on Glen Oaks Boulevard by the Glendale DMV.
Let's all meet there tomorrow, 3 p.m.
Let's all meet there tomorrow.
Yeah, two of them are very close to one another. One's on 3rd in Larchmont. And then there's one like a couple blocks south. There's one at like 8th and Irolo. But if you take Irolo up to 3rd Street and make a right, there's another John's. They're like within, I'd say they're within 3 miles of one another. And then the other one is up in Glendale. And those are the only 3 that exist, as far as I know.
They're family owned.
The Johns family.
Yeah. Or 2 guys named John, 3 guys named John.
Founded in 1977 by a family with a vision, John's Fresh Marketplace remains a family-owned grocery chain serving the greater Los Angeles area. We serve our communities with an unparalleled commitment, both to the tastes of each neighborhood and to the products and brands that unite us. Together, we are John's. Welcome.
Donna.
So it's a bunch of people in a trench coat.
Yes. I'm looking for names here.
A
It
whole
doesn't say
family.
anything about the names. It just
John.
says,
That's all that
John's.
matters.
But John's is all
We
caps.
are John's.
John's was the first Los Angeles grocery of its kind to provide access to international foods, from the spiced, earthy staples of Central and South America to the scented oils and grains of the Middle East. From the richness of Europe's hearth to the opulent sauces and sweetmeats of Asia, John's continues to pay tribute to the eclectic variety of food shared and savored by thousands. Why aren't they hiring me to do their radio ads? I'm here.
We've just gone too far.
This is your audition.
Of course, we carry all the popular mainstream selections that you know and love. We couldn't live without Haagen-Dazs or Cheerios either. But we appreciate individual taste, too. I'm hijacking the show. So we've incorporated customized international groceries, from meats and cheeses to breads and beers, to suit the flavor of each of our surrounding neighborhoods. Come on.
We're sponsored by John's.
We're
now.
sponsored by
They don't
John's.
know it.
But the picture,
We should send them an invoice.
there's a picture on the website of a lady who's leaning back and going like this with her hands. She has 2 fish. She's going like this. She seems like, hey, if you're Cocaine Bear but a person, come to John's, and your fists of drug-fueled rage can enjoy all of the foods we have, including Haagen-Dazs. We can live without it either. I can live without Haagen-Dazs.
I do. Largely, I do.
Yeah.
Some of that ad seemed a little threatening, like we are John's.
We are
the end of it.
John's.
But similarly, Leanne Hart, who was the 3rd ending, she had a hatchet and she was holding it to Cecil's throat.
Yeah, this was the
Or to his face.
most intense of the endings, where I feel like it's the most social commentary of the endings as well, where it's like she's making all sorts of news so that she can sell papers.
Yeah, but she's time traveling to do it and messing everything up, and it's very intense. She's just very intense about the whole thing. And she's creating these inflammatory headlines like tomorrow's front page is public schools should not give pornography to our kids. I feel like this is something some of our Congress people would be posting.
Yes.
Nowadays.
Certain governors of certain states.
Where woke goes to die.
States named after the rapper Flo Rida.
Insane. You've been me.
Welcome to my house. You don't have to go out.
So loud.
That's all we can use. That's all we're
That's
I
all
love
we have.
Flo Rida.
That's all we have the rights to.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
20 seconds or less, fair use. But in the end, while she just doesn't want to get scooped, I guess, but she was weird and she messed everything up. So I think that's very exciting. Leanne was a trip, but which one? I guess they're all real. They all happened, right?
Are you sure?
No, I'm a little scared.
Shall we move on?
Yeah.
We shall.
Up next, a conversation about this episode's weathers with this episode's weather, Vincent Cacchione of Caged Animals.
Stay right there. Good Morning Night Vale will return after a brief break.
Lately, I've been all over the place. Between touring, dog sitting, and traveling, my routine has become non-existent. Now that my travel schedule has slowed down, I need to get back to eating real food and not just grabbing what I can when I can. And Factor is making that easier for me. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes and require little to no prep and no cleanup. So even on the days when my schedule is completely out of whack, eating well is still achievable. Like today, I had 3 meetings and a client. By the time I was done, I was hungry and I just needed to eat. So I grabbed the Beurre Blanc filet mignon with Parmesan risotto, and it was delicious. I was amazed at how tender it was and how flavorful the risotto was, and saved me from having to pick something up quick. And in 2 minutes, I had something healthy, fresh, and delicious. So if you like fast, easy, and delicious meals, I think you would like Factor Meals too. Let's eat real. Head to factormeals.com/GMNV50OFF and use code GMNV50OFF to get 50% off and 1 free breakfast item per box for 1 year, while supplies last until 10/31/2026. That's code GMNV50OFF at factormeals.com. GMNV50OFF at factormeals.com. See website for more details.
Welcome, Vin. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm a little starstruck, I have to say.
Yeah.
Except you get to hear our luscious voices. Oh, I'm very glamorous in real life.
It's just Symphony. It's cool. Symphony's very cool. She's very approachable.
Sitting in front of my wardrobe. Oh, this old thing? That's just my house tiara.
Ding, ding, ding. The walking tiara.
So, Vin, okay, for those of you who don't know, you probably hear it in our credits after every episode, but Vincent, you've been doing so much stuff for us. Tell us about your initial involvement with this show, and then we'll get to the weather.
Yeah, totally. So I came to work on all 100 and this will be the 133rd episode of the show.
Yeah.
And I have mixed all of them.
Whoop.
And edited a whole bunch of them. And I came to have that role through my involvement in another Night Vale Presents show, The Orbiting Human Circus, which I worked on the only 2 seasons of. And through that, I met Christy Gressman, and through that, I met all the people at Night Vale. And that's how I've come to collaborate on, I think, somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 different shows on the Night Vale Presents network.
Wow.
That's so awesome. And you've done such an amazing job with our show, especially with the Brownstone Spire. I think that's some of your greatest work, honestly.
Sure. Oh, well, that's fun. It's always fun to have an excuse to do that.
But this episode, this is a monumental one because it's the first time we had kind of like it's a chance by which episode you get with which weather. I got Escape Artist by Caged Animals, the Leanne version. What did you get, Hal?
I got the Earl version when I listened.
You did?
Yes. So mine was Shadows.
Okay. So we're just missing Wildflowers. So I feel like I should just listen to that just on my own. I'll do that research afterwards.
Only ever heard the version of this episode that has Wildflowers.
No way.
And I've tried a bunch of times. I've tried like maybe a half dozen times to see if I can get another ending, and I never could. It was always the Telly ending.
How did you get involved in this episode? Like how did you become the weather? Because obviously this predates. This predates. No, it doesn't predate. You were already working on.
Yes,
we were already happening. Yeah. What? It's so weird because I'm so used to talking to people like, "Oh, it's 2012. Take me back." But
what were you doing?
This was a few years ago. What was the process there?
Yeah, so I had a record coming out that I had been working on the previous couple years, and Christy Gressman, who was working at Night Vale Presents at the time, she said, "Why don't you send the songs to Joseph and Jeffrey? Maybe they'd like to use it for the weather." And I was like, "Well, I don't want to, I don't want to. That might be awkward. And I'm doing all this work for Night Vale, and I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable."
Sure. She's
like, "No, they're not going to. No, that's not how they're going to feel at all. Just send them the music and see what they say." So I sent them the record. And I heard back from Joseph pretty quickly. And he was like, "Well, was there a song that you were hoping to showcase?" And I was like, I sort of like walked him through the different kinds of songs that were on the record. And then I didn't hear back for like a week. And then I got the response. I still remember what he said. He was like, "We're going to do an unusual episode. And I'd like to use 3 of the songs from the record." And I didn't know what that meant, but I was like, "Oh, cool. Like, all right. He must really like the songs."
Yeah.
But that's all he told me. And then when the episode came out, I learned how they did it. And I thought that was such a cool way of
very cool
of doing it. And it felt at that point I had kind of learned enough about Joseph's creative process to realize this feels very Joseph, you know?
Yeah, there's always that moment you talk to Joseph. He's like, I'm thinking of doing blah, 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 or we want to do whatever. And it's always a weird left field thing that's great.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to understand when it's happening. It just happens, and it's really awesome.
Yes. You've a pretty deep background in music. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So that was for, since I was a teenager and into my 20s and 30s, I've been writing songs and recording music. And the project I do, Caged Animals, is with my partner, Magali. And we started recording under that name in 2010. Home recorded like lo-fi pop music, essentially.
Love it.
And we just kind of kept going with it. And right around the time that our daughter was born in 2014, we kind of slowed down on the touring side of being in a band. And but we kept the recording side going strong. So these 3 songs that are on this record were from the first record we made after our daughter Alaska was born.
Oh, awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And that is, I met Julian Coster, who is the voice and writer behind the Orbiting Human Circus, through music. And I always stayed in touch with him for many years. And there was a point in time when I was actually making this record, this Escape Artist record. And I was asking Julian, I'd really like to get you to play singing saw on one of my songs. He's a singing saw player.
I had no idea about that.
And he's a great singing saw player. And he was like, well, I would love to do that, but I'm right in the middle of recording this radio show. He said, I'm recording a radio show. And, it's a little bit tough right now, but maybe in a little while, in a couple months. I was like, what's this radio show you're making? He's like, well, I'm writing these scripts and I'm telling this like fiction story, like radio dramas. I was like, oh, that's so cool. I was like, let me know if you need any help with that. I just kind of threw that out there.
Sure.
Let me know if you need any help with that. And like a week later, he's like, can you meet me in South Brooklyn? And I do want your help with that. And then, a minute later, we were spending months making that first season of the Orbiting Human Circus. And it was kind of a crash course in the fiction podcasting world. And then we met Christy and we found out about Night Vale. And it was this amazing world of creativity and storytelling. We gained access to it.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how I was just going to say, isn't that always how it is? You just kind of fall into it. I tell people that all the time. I fell into it because I'm friends with this guy.
Yeah, I know. And that's your story with Night Vale too, right? You went to college with Cecil. Is that?
Yeah. Cecil and I went to college together. And then, I happened to be in New York teaching a circus workshop. And he was like, oh, come be my +1 for this show. And I went and I sat in the VIP and I was sitting next to this guy and his mom. And then we were talking about books. And then later on, Cecil was like, oh, it looks like you met Joseph. I was like, oh, yeah. Hey. And then 4 months later, he sent me an email being like, hey, are you interested in doing a character on the show? And Cecil said, you do voice acting. And I was like, yeah, sure.
I love it.
And so I started, it's crazy.
I love
right?
it. No, it's wonderful. And I really appreciate that about this world. It feels very organic and it feels very, just bursting with like, hey, why don't we open this door and see what's on the other side?
Yeah, I love that. So for these songs in particular, since I've only heard Escape Artists, can you maybe kind of give like a vibe for like what each song is like? Because I would like to know what the other songs are like.
Oh yeah. So Wildflowers is like a pop song, I would say. And it was written about the birth of my daughter, Alaska. And it's, I think it's still one of our more popular songs in terms of like the streaming side of releasing music. And yeah, it was one of those, it was one of those songs where my daughter was born and you're a songwriter and you're like, well, I'm probably going to write a song about that at some point. And
yeah,
but it wasn't happening. And then all of a sudden I was in the middle of the song and I'm like, oh man, this is so obviously, this is her song, you know, and it was just a feeling, you know, feeling came over me in the melody or something. And it hit me. I'm like, this is her song. I'm writing her song right now. And then once I realized I was writing her song, then it all got much sharper. So that's that one. And then Escape Artist was, I had just read a great Harry Houdini biography by my friend Ratzo Sloman. He wrote an amazing Houdini biography in the mid 2000s. And I had Houdini on the brain and this idea of being an escape artist on my brain. And, you know, and that was kind of like the jump off point for that one. That one has a little bit of a darker, more minor key energy to it. And then on the Shadows one, that's also kind of a more minor key, slow, brooding kind of song. And that one was inspired by reading this book by Michael Finkel called The Stranger in the Woods, which is nonfiction about this hermit by the name of Christopher Knight. He was a guy from Maine who worked in some car rental place, and he got his like first paycheck. He was like 19 years old, and he's like, I'm going to go to Disneyland. And he drove to Disneyland, and he arrived there, and he's like, it's horrible. I need to leave. And he drove all the way back to Maine in his car, and ended up in the woods somewhere, and continued to drive the car through the woods until trees stopped him. And he abandoned his car and then continued to live in the woods for 28 years, never making any human contact again, other than the fact that he was burglarizing nearby cabins to get like goods that he needed to survive in the woods.
So
that's literally insane.
Yeah. Anyway, I had read that book and I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So I kind of took that character as the, you know, springboard for that one.
You know, the Disney magic affects all of us in so many different ways. Some it inspires creativity and wonder, and others you go, no, fuck it, I'm gonna go live in the woods now. I'm done with people.
Right?
I felt both ways on the same trip to a park.
Yes.
It's like the stages of grief. I'm curious, like what was the effect? Was there like a bump, or is there a lasting sort of halo effect to having your music be the weather? Like you mentioned, was it Escape Artists is like one of your more popular downloaded? Did those like become very popular? Do they still? What was that like?
I think that people are still listening because of the weather. It's noticeable to me. And, you know, I can see, like, you can see the different like playlists that people put your songs in, and a lot of them are related to Night Vale. The song Wildflowers had a life about a year. It was out like floating around in the internet for about a year before it was the weather. So it had already had a little bit of following to it, that song. But whereas the other two had just come out on the album proper, Escape Artists and Shadows, and those I'm pretty sure that most of the listenership is probably being driven by people who have heard the Leanne or Earl version of the show. So that's really cool. And
okay.
Yeah.
I love that. And do you find that they've gone back to listen to more of the back catalog? And you had an album come out last year. We want to talk about that. But do you find that there's a contingent of Night Vale that's there checking your stuff out?
It seems so, because if I look at my similar artists or whatever, or I don't know how they phrase it on Spotify there, but it's a lot of people who have done the weather. I got like Danny Schmidt. He's done the weather, right? And here, I'll look at it right now and I'll tell you who's there. And I'm pretty sure these are some Night Vale people here. We got Aaron Cacchione. That's a Night Vale person.
Yep. Sure.
Carrie Elkin.
Yep.
Yes.
Eliza Rickman.
Danish.
So
yes.
It seems to me like a lot of Night Vale fans are checking in on Caged Animals.
You are in good company with all of those folks. Yeah. And so nowadays, you said you slowed down on the touring bit. Obviously, we had a silly little pandemonium for a while. But you guys, like Hal said, you just released an album. Tell us about that.
Yeah, totally. So we had started recording an album just before COVID. And yeah, you know, the music got a lot more kind of introspective and quiet. It kind of feels like the older we're getting, the quieter. Each record's getting a little bit quieter. And we got 2 kids now, but this one's called Underneath the Spell. And it was written and all the recording had been done before COVID. And then we went and did something totally crazy when COVID started. And we moved to my wife's hometown in Canada from Brooklyn. And we moved here.
Like you do.
We moved here not even really intending to like permanently move here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the border shut after we came here. And then it was like, oh, well, we can't go back. So we ended up staying and we ended up staying for like so long that one thing, life just kept going as it does. And all of a sudden a friend of mine named John McKeel was offering me a house to rent here. And he's like, oh, and there's a recording studio in the backyard already made. I was like, oh,
how convenient.
I want to live at that house.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And then a few short months later, the owners were like, oh, do you guys want to buy it? We're going to sell the house. So it was like, oh, well, we don't want to leave. So yes, we do want to buy the. So
and probably cheaper than living in Brooklyn.
It's for sure. For sure. It's cheaper than living in Brooklyn, So yeah, we're on this adventure here in Canada, and
how exciting!
And we finished and once we had this space, we finished Underneath the Spell and put it out. Actually, we just put it out on vinyl only a couple months ago.
Oh, it's on vinyl?
Yeah,
I'm creating my own little collection.
Yeah.
So I'll send you my details and a $20 bill in the mail. No,
we'll slip you in your birthday card. We'll give you a check.
Yeah, I'll write you a check, but I'll make sure it's for Canadian dollars.
Yeah, you could do it. You could do it Italian style and just hand me like the money and say, "Buy some ice cream."
Is that's the new thing?
That was
now you tell people to buy ice cream. That was the Italian, like go get some ice cream. Like
that was the old school. That was how my no did it. He would just hand me like a $20 bill and be like, buy some ice cream. I feel like it was like 1988, so I was like, God damn, I could buy everybody ice cream with this.
That's right. You're like, ice cream's on me, boys.
I'm gonna buy a whole Carvel. Cookie Puss for everyone. I'm making it rain pennies and quarters.
$20 went a long way in 88.
Yeah.
Inflation. This economy. Well, I mean, Vin, you did an awesome job with I love this song, and now I have to go listen to the other ones. Maybe I can use someone else's phone to see if I can listen to the other versions, or I could just go on Spotify, right? Or anywhere you can find the Caged Animals.
Yeah, it's on all the different things on Spotify and Apple Music and Bandcamp, and all 3 songs are on the same album, Escape Artist, that were used in the weather. Actually, I think the album came out like a week before this episode came out, so the timing was almost identical.
Oh, wow. That's perfect. So really,
I love world premieres.
Like, people should go get the whole album because it's like having an entire multiverse of music at your fingertips.
Yeah, totally. And I'm just curious I wish I knew what the other plot lines were, because I can't hear those episodes. No matter, I've tried, throughout the years, a couple different times, different Spotify on the Night Vale site, but every time it's magnetized to get Wildflowers telly ending.
I wish we had the tech for all of that to figure out how to trick the system so you could get all 3.
Beat the algorithm.
Yeah, exactly. Vin, can you tell us where we can find you, where we can reach out to you and say which one is their favorite?
Oh, cool. Yeah. So I'm on Instagram, Caged Animals on the Loose. And I guess we're still on Facebook. It's there. I don't check in too often. And then we're on Bandcamp for all the music releases. And if anybody wants to pick up a physical copy of any of this stuff, it's all on the Bandcamp. Yeah. Not on TikTok yet. I'm a little.
You're not doing TikTok dances?
I think I'm an elderly millennial, so I haven't figured it out yet.
You'll be using the Zoom function a lot. Apparently, that's the millennial Zoom, they call it. Do you know of your music being out there on TikTok at all?
It may be.
It must be.
I believe the more recent releases are. Although, I've actually never even used the app somehow.
That's hilarious. Now I'm going to go and see if I can find it somewhere on my algorithm.
That's right.
Because, as Hal and I are also, well, I guess I'm an elder millennial. I'm ex-zennial. I was born
I'm Gen X.
in 80.
I'm Gen X.
Straight X.
Yeah, I refuse to be zennial. I say if you tell me Gen X stops at 1980 or 83, whatever it is, I'll take it. I'm 77, firmly Gen X.
I think you're firmly
throw
Gen
up the
X,
X everywhere I can.
Yeah. You're X.
Thank you.
70s is X.
Thank you.
But we're both on TikTok. That's what I wanted to say. So you're never too old to come over. Us elderly people like it there.
Okay, maybe
I've got great transitions. Come on. The water's fine.
I am a slow adopter of social media things. So, maybe maybe the time is now. Maybe, I get that this has been around for a minute. It took me a minute to catch on to Instagram. Sure. It took me a minute to get a smartphone. Mm-hmm. But, I'm not at the end of the line.
You're not going full Luddite.
Demi-Luddite.
Well, we appreciate you, and we appreciate that you coming on, taking the time. And I know you're going to edit this one the best.
It's so well mixed. It's going to sound perfect.
It's going to sound so awesome. Well, thank you both for inviting me. When these songs went into the Night Vale episode, I think we were just starting Good Morning Night Vale. And I was like, at some point, and I think I even calculated, it's going to be several years from now, they'll talk about these songs on the show. And it's really funny for it to be here. It's also interesting to actually have a two-way conversation with the two of you, because I've listened, to 132 episodes of Good Morning Night Vale, several times while I'm working on them, and I feel like I know you both really well, but we've never talked.
That's wild. Yeah, because we chat, we message, but we haven't that is wild to me. But I don't know. When you have these parasocial relationships with people, I'm like, oh yeah, I know Vin.
For sure.
I know he's got kids. Every time you've had a baby, I'm like, mazel. We're so excited when stuff happens in each other's lives and things like that. So it's always so funny to me that we don't actually know each other, but we do. I'm giving you a hug through the computer.
Hugs.
I'm receiving a hug.
Computer hugs. I'm hugging also.
I love it. Thanks so much for coming on, man. You're awesome.
Yeah. My pleasure. Thank you both.
Well, thank you all for listening. Next episode will be fall football preview. Until then, good morning, Night Vale. Good morning.
Good Morning Night Vale is a Night Vale Presents production. It is hosted by Symphony Sanders, Meg Bashwiner, and Hal Lublin. It is edited by Felicia Dominguez and mixed by Vincent Cacchione. It is produced by Meg Bashwiner. Theme music by Disparition. Email us at info@goodmorningnightVale.com to share your theories and ask questions, or to tell us if you've heard this before. This show is powered by our patrons, like Logan, M., Molly Gaines, Nathaniel Philippin, and Nathaniel Grubbs. If you are interested in supporting the show in exchange for lots of fun, exclusive, insider, hyper cool kid content, check us out at patreon.com/goodmorningnightVale. For more info on this show, go to goodmorningnightVale.com and follow us on Facebook and on Twitter @NightValeChat. Special thanks to Joella Knapp, Jeffrey Craner, and Joseph Fink. The calzone ingredient of the week is wood glue vinaigrette.